Wow, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even Spodrick's Turians were forbidden from making
Can't just
visits.
call them that.
Rain was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to ether corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse from exhaustion. Oh, and our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. Wow.
And now we gotta go talk to Morin all the way up in the Cabinet of Curiosity.
The struggle here is I now need to remake all of my costumes for a new color scheme. Because a lot of them are really ugly now.
Wow.
Wait, where?
Now just wait. It's going to be this session. This entire thing is going to be over with, and you're going to have to pant it back.
No, it's probably going to be
planning on
permanent.
staying that way. Oh, you're staying. Okay.
I already have the next appearance planned for whenever this like inevitably gets undone, because obviously there's another expansion, so they're not going to kill my character.
Yeah.
But his like, I have a plan for his like tempered, like recovered version that still isn't a return to normal.
I gotta walk all the way up the stairs.
And that was mainly because people suggested a really good color scheme. And I'm like, that does work, but it contradicts the thing I'm doing right now. So we're going to save that. Morin. It's been a while since we talked to Morin.
At the beginning of the expansion, I think.
Yeah.
What a Morin.
Check out this Morin. Unfound it. This says the same thing as the last. Mayhap I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Hero. Is it truly you and not some figment of my imagination? Oh, but this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring the shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the Light Wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I am hopeful the search of our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catless, meanwhile, returns to leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle. Though against what foe, we are as of yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief.
Ankles. Who needs those?
Just every time, it's just like, hip!
And that's going to be the crystalline mean. I need to turn down my...
I'm trying to be like, check it, go back through all the gang of all these known characters you totally remember, but I'm like, these are not... Of all the cast that has been reinforced, the random people around this town are not really among them.
I know she is the... I'm probably going to have some unique dialogue here, because I've completed all the quests here.
Was that Catless? Shit.
I have no idea who anybody was.
I know Andrew usually picks up the female voices.
Hero, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying what's to become of you or the Exarch.
I have unique dialogue for that as well.
Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out, or you're planning on not striking out straight away, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day, and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Okay. I'm being assessed. Well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we need to experiment with different patterns and materials, and I'm not sure we have that kind of time.
Is this the fashion report guy?
Probably.
Oh.
Let's click. Oh,
We're not
nope,
on that
never-
planet.
Who on earth is that?
The man.
I just clicked once to see.
The fashion report guy can't be here because we're not in Eorzea.
Right.
He could be he could be an alternate reality traveler. We don't know who the hell he is. He wears a mask all the time.
Got that Manderville power.
It's oh.
That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy.
Greetings, Glynard. The Master of Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Who? Master of Stairs. That's what she just said.
Well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard.
Oh, it's the guy. I think he runs the cafe.
But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours.
Wait, is there a cafe? Is that the guy?
And by genius, you mean Grenold? He is a man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with you there. But what good does his talent do us if no one can bloody find him? No one's seen no one's seen hide nor hair of Grenolt's since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking.
That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I wager he'll show up soon enough.
What?
Oh yeah, it is the bartender.
In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit.
We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grenold, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh?
Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place.
Uh-oh.
I don't suggest partaking in my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to see you.
That's not very descriptive at all. No description, no name, nothing? Really?
I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it?
Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. Okay. We did it.
I was waiting for the payoff for a long time there, because people let slip a while ago that like the Crystal Tower was optional until it wasn't anymore.
Yeah,
like at some
Crystal
point
Tower...
they made the Crystal Tower mandatory, which means that they made that story something that comes up later, which means I'm like, okay, when's this happening?
I'm pretty sure they made it optional when Shadowbringers was released. Or
no,
mandatory,
mandatory, yeah. Because they made that character important all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay. Hero, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery.
This damn sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often liked to stand there and feel the wind upon his face.
Quest objective. Take a moment to feel the wind upon your face. Alright, you can't. Oh, wait, can you jump down? I think you might be able to jump down over here. Maybe?
Wind, Bukkake, initiate.
Yep. The most exciting quest ever. Stand at a place and do a thing.
It's the wait till you die arc.
I mean, yeah. Unless somebody comes up with something, that's what's going to happen.
Yay.
It's no big deal, it's just a completely unprecedented problem that's never come up before.
Nope. Definitely not.
There's lots of books about how to solve this
Right.
one.
No, I just want to examine the thing. God damn it. I hate these ones so much. I can't click on the thing. There we go.
As a controller user, I just press A.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky, knowing what it means to everyone, and that you're responsible.
It's all such a mess.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burns so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then. As I thought, what happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished. The fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it. Cut ties with the mortal world? Hide away in the castle? It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling. You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment. At this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Oh, he's already down here.
Yep.
Oh.
Your name was Gray, so I thought you were still in the quest. Or in the cutscene.
Yeah, no, I finished the cutscene a little while ago. I
Womp.
genuinely don't know why I finish it so much faster than you guys. I guess it's because of the fact that I'm manually clicking instead of letting it autoplay, maybe?
I click manually, but that leads to differences of when we choose to click either way.
I usually just wait. So.
But the
That's...
they really were like, hey, what if you came and became a raid boss? That'd keep you alive.
Yeah.
God damn. That's like it's very Stranger in Paradise.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't think we would need Ilmeg to stand up for us at that point, considering we have the power of... We killed 4 Light Wardens, right?
I think that's what the plot of... I'm trying to remember. I think that's the plot of Stranger in Paradise was the weird hack and slash Final Fantasy spinoff that came out like last year. I think it's like the backstory for you becoming the final boss of Final Fantasy 1 or something.
Huh.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I played the game and I barely understand what was happening in it, honestly.
That's such a resounding...
So it's like that one movie that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head that has an incoherent storyline all the way through.
That's a lot of movies. That does not narrow it down.
It's...
You know, it's the guy in it.
I cannot remember the name of it.
Did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro.
Give bird.
What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in this city can tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion, and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day, the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. It was a whole
Sounds
raid.
like Zim over there decided to drink a beer before they started the session.
Yeah. I actually haven't drunk it yet.
Which one are we going to?
I just went to the next one further north, which is the...
We're at Cassard.
Yep, the Amaro launch.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then we're going to be going back down to Cabinet of Curiosity.
I just went to the first one I spotted.
Hero, it is good to see you awake and alert, my friend.
Papa. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insight to share, then it'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual spot at the Assessor Gate.
I'm surprised he didn't tell us to go talk to her.
It's up to us.
Do we want to go? I mean, we should probably go and talk to her.
Should we?
I think so.
Should be like, woe is me, my granddad is dead.
I mean, we've been told time and time again to go talk to people who aren't necessarily the main person to talk to.
True.
With the extended town cast, I just have trouble keeping them straight.
Yeah, she's outside of the city.
Oh, the rabbit from the beginning of the expansion.
Yeah, the Vera lady. Yeah.
Like the second character we met.
Oh, almost forgot. I will have to cut this short tonight. Just as I think I mentioned that very briefly.
Yeah. But you've also cut this short every week for the last 2 months.
Well, 1 a.m. is not short for me. Just gotta cut it down by an hour. Hopefully we'll find tomorrow morning.
Oh? Is there something else you needed? You've come for the results of my research into this persistent light. I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Records pertaining to the Exarch. Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade has passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought out the Spire, be they locals who had lost their homes, or Vobertites fleeing their ruined kingdom. And together did they find the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Me, I know his name, pick me.
What was his name again?
Listen, I got there eventually last time. I said something super wrong, but that reminded me of it for some reason, and then slowly got to a point where I then correctly remembered his name. But that was last week.
I still don't remember. Outside of the Tessellation Gate.
So I get full credit for getting it right that time, but it's gone again. The struggle with me is I don't encounter enough cat people to remember their naming scheme half the time. Grahatia, right? I think I got it again.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
I did it! Celebratory Christmas emote. My character is just glaring in this light. He's so fucking bright.
It's very fitting.
It's me. This is my light. I ruined everything.
Again.
Yep. Where are you guys?
These shining abs will ruin the world. Did you get lost? Hello.
There we go. Yeah, I did get lost. Hello.
There's Lena for you to be again.
Okay. I don't remember what voice I gave her. Whatever. Hero, I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now, if only Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I do not understand their hesitation. until I saw you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Calusa, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens the door to the Ocular, a chamber known as the Umbilicis. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of Eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions. But the battle with Vothri loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, the moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, hero, I need to know what he feared. What battle you and your companions were truly fighting? Interdimensional demons.
Nope.
I'm the villain.
Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Ah, I see. I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of Eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Okay. That was a lot of convincing we had to do.
Yeah, we watched, and then she did a whole arc in front of us.
Come,
Nope.
meet me in the Ocular, and I will unlock the door within.
Okay.
By
It's funny, he was technically like this shadowy hooded figure the whole time, but I didn't really register that the Crystal Exarch was, his identity was supposed to be like a secret. So I guess that means they did it right, and that they didn't make me go like, whoa, what character could he be? It's just somebody who coincidentally was hiding their identity, and then it's like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Yep.
It wasn't calling attention to itself constantly.
Yet I was always interested. Explain that.
We didn't even, I don't think we even saw his tail or anything.
No, it was always hidden. We didn't know what race he was. We didn't know what he looked like because his only available hand we saw was just pure crystal.
Yeah.
I have unlocked the door to the Umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more.
Okay.
Until then, I will remain without.
I'm surprised she's not coming with us.
Wow. This guy was a nerd. Look at all these books.
Poorly organized
Where
books.
do
I mean, when you
He didn't
have
even
hundreds or
sleep.
even thousands of years, I mean,
He had thousands of years and couldn't clean up after himself.
Right?
Not even organized, they're not on shelves. Some of them are just face down, open.
I'm who knows what bachelor lifestyles are thousands of years of bachelordom. Oh damn. Even Orianjor is upset.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then. By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the Eighth Umbral Calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity, Cid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope! We are finished! Mankind is finished!" Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Cid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Cid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward, 'tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity and make of it a portent, a prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would, and I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
Now I'm there. That was an unfortunate zoom in on clenching his fist when my character has like 2-inch long nails.
Oh, you think you think you've got it bad? Me and my giant ass ring in my right hand.
I just obliterated my own palm, just stabbed right through it. I mean, hunting down Emmett Selk is not wrong.
Oh yeah, but the problem is where do we even begin?
Intent is a good starting point.
I will kill this man.
They're not real choices anyway. I mean, the hunt down Emmett Selch.
We should be on our way. Diasian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
They all contrived to lie to us.
Not all of them, anyway.
Did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door.
I need some directions.
You wish to know the way to the Tempest? You mean the sea itself, and not the island Clusa? If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an Amaro. But do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? I am not sure that. Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. Okay, bye.
Off we go. To the Amaro launch.
Time to get baptized. AKA drowning in the ocean.
Who wants to be this man?
You require an Amaro. Just a moment. Shall saddle my swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water? To the depths of the Tempest? Our Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor?
Ah, we have found thee.
Shit.
Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Eorzea has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
I am a danger to those around me.
I understand the precarious nature of thy condition. Nonetheless, it is my wish to remain at thy side for as long as I am able.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Eorzea. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them!
No! Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
How many of them are there? This is getting
The
loud.
gatekeeper. The fucking gatekeeper. The guy we talk to every time to get in there.
Not even a name. Not even a name.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that it's like,
We do
I
not
could
fully
tell.
understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
I think the first option is the most neutral. Second one is a promise we might not be able to keep, and the last one seems a little too
They're all frustratingly vague as far as a coming together goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first ones are just the best of.
Defend the Crystarium until we return.
Ooh, thank God, I didn't want to go. It sounded dangerous.
We're all coming together. What would you have of us? Bye.
Stay here.
Go bye-bye. Nothing really, go bye-bye.
Alright, this is me.
Yeah.
Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down to Emmett Silk's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Nope. We can breathe water. Thus, during thy covalence, we discovered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this... What?
That's how they're going to reach the bottom of the ocean.
Bricks.
They're just going to load them with bricks.
Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth, goodness, above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. That's...
Makes me wonder how many attempts Orion J takes to read his own lines.
Probably many. Thine affairs are in order. Then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. I do that already. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Yet, rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Okay.
Just follow the objective marker. You know the one.
And now we go to the Aethernet shard. And then we go to Tessellation, Lakeland.
Do.
And then we fly out of here.
I can fly in most places.
I can fly everywhere.
Yeah, and then we move into what is inevitably going to be the new zone, and nobody can fly again.
Yeah. I forgot the last session. I think we unlocked flying in that area. And I need to go do that now.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to do all the side missions now.
I think that's the only one I'm missing is the, Yep. I'm only missing Calusia.
I go back and do those.
I have 4 quests and 1 shard current to go. Somebody finally made me realize how to tell the difference between the two of them. Is that the icon for quest looks like a Q. Doesn't really... I thought it was a magnifying glass and a footstep, and I'm like, how do I tell which one of those is quests? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I couldn't tell, I never could memorize which icon was which. But the quest one does look like a Q, even though it also it looks much more like a magnifying glass or a balloon.
There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes.
Whenever something like
swimmer.
that, whenever something like that's described, I'm always thinking like, all right, well, there's definitely a Tumblr post somewhere that's fan art of just Eorzea being a terrible swimmer.
Swimming,
Just, like, basically drowning. Whenever you leave something unseen like that, it always begs you to then turn around and draw it. I have not been underwater for a bit. Mainly because I have not been keeping up with my quest.
Tisk tisk.
I keep not wanting to read the next turtle quest. Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? That muffled brrrr.
And now we presumably go back up above the surface? No.
Nope, the objective says
As long as you
beneath.
touched both of them.
There must just be a sparkle
they're both
somewhere
down
here.
below.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yep.
It's pretty close to the surface.
Rah,
Two
rah,
curved
rah,
slabs
rah.
of rock seem squeezed through here, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. Ew. Orianji's nuts. This mountain's just too powerful.
Well, what hast thou discerned? It's...
It reminds me of a certain primal.
Yeah. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. You know, the big white fucker who decided to try and eat the clouds and zap us to death. Yes, that
was the birds?
The owl people, yes.
In Heaven's Word, yeah. The dialogue was funny as a callback. Like, it's just like the big one. Yes, yes?
Yep. I would enlist... excuse me. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication.
And were the
by that I
Vanu Vanu
mean-
the owls in Heaven's Word, or the flightless birds that wanted to fly again in A Realm Reborn?
The owls in Heaven's Sword. We were up in the floating isles.
Would you like more purple?
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail. Fallen si lor wislan, ada si alinal.
Van urs atslir, olfod thim, iri guath thi.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
We need fail. Ooh.
My snake yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers bismail win picked. Van dromi drom jacob. Van read rithje.
Hola, Sahawin Whisk. Isnerim Solierno.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Ruis. Vanin Narsitar. Dir Sidagnai.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? Do you see that?
Oh dear.
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Whoopsie!
Whoa there! It's not stopping! Run! Run!
Straight up killed 2 people.
Probably more than that.
It's just like the beginning of Godzilla. The American one.
No Vanana Anna. Tilden Silo. Iri Almsi. Funne. Aktma von Jasni. Tagnai.
Everyone's having a bad time.
Yep.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The Tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Welcome to the Tempest.
Well, that was wild.
Boo, I can't fly here.
I would see why that'd be a bit of an issue. That wasn't just a collision dome. That was this entire area being displaced of water by the magic whale breath. And now there's a nightmare bubble down here.
Yep.
Ruh-roh. Well,
we have
this
just
is
destroyed an entire ecosystem.
Here's a change of pace.
Everyone talking to Urianshe?
Yep.
Yep. Well, full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. It is here that we shall find the lair of Emmet Selk, and, I believe, the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Asian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee unto the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboreth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them.
Bum 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 bum.
In the event that you leave the area.
Speak to Inual at Vrunman. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmet Selk would be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow that slope down towards the deeper trenches, and keep an eye out for the rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then. Watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery.
Thank you.
Ah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, everything's fine. Aether currents. Oh, it's not listed here. Let's see, do you ever get flying here? Do you have flying?
I do indeed.
Yes.
Goodbye, Panda. He landed right next to us and we just took off.
Yep.
I went to open my Aether current menu just to see if it was like listed,
Hey,
but it's not.
We got 30-ish odd minutes, so I mean, can't just be sitting around dawdling, right?
That's a hard name to say. The noodly ely dragon thingy.
The Emphis Bena?
Emphis Bena?
Something like that.
Emphis Bayonetta?
Bum bum.
Of course, we got Dagon sitting around over here.
Ando youth. That's more of these guys. These beast tribes that don't have facial expressions.
Yep. I forget what they were called back in AR. They were called...
It just ran!
The Sahagin. There we go. Well, yeah, I mean, they're probably suffocating right now, considering they're not able to...
I don't think they suffocate.
No, I think he's just scared.
Yeah.
We met Sahagin on the surface. That's how you do the older beast tribes.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
Yeah, but
Because they had they had a whole fish tribe in Realm Reborn and that didn't think to have swimming.
Well, it's more the curiosity of whether or not they're used to breathing air. Or the question, rather. Not curiosity.
Well, I mean, they have a whole city in here, so it probably seems likely.
The finless one! They followed me! Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water?
Yes?
Technically not.
Ah, so this is where the Ando make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you of your understanding.
Chieftain, what are we to do?
Would you like some strange eye contact with an unrecognizable fishman?
Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave.
I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment.
I'm gonna touch your normal reaction before I leave. That people are supposed to have when you do something wrong.
So, well, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon Ando's local knowledge.
I accidentally clicked. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Selk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return.
We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ando refuse to speak with us... Hero, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ando. The individual I dealt with was reticent in matters of manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options.
If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. We were to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them. They may yet prove amenable to reason. I am surprised I got that word on the first try. Inimical? What the... Dangerous, probably?
I have no idea what the fuck he's saying half the time. He really just has some incredible thesaurus words.
Tending to obstruct or harm, or unfriendly and hostile. Okay then.
I smell chores, but very well. If it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry that what will happen if the Ando's tales end up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being.
I mean...
I'll do what I can, I suppose.
Yeah. So much easier if we just said, yes, we are the emissaries of the Ancient Ones.
What's making one more faction my buds? It's easy. I do it all the time. Then it's settled. Ishtola, pray proceed with our investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. We just talked to like 3 of them.
Maybe go pick up 3 objects.
Help! My baby fell into a well! We have wells down here!
They're full of hair!
Wait, I need to touch this stupid fucking crystal.
Oh yeah, you guys should probably do that in a minute.
Hero, you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Pausch Orn, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Ulmor.
Wait.
I waited and you did not come. Then the Mistel came. But his visits did not continue.
I am truly sorry, Pausch Orn. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology?
Perhaps. Where the Dry return, cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run, and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many.
I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, hero? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the Dry return has rather ominous ring to it.
Oh, forgot to attune.
Just sounds like it just sounds like a dock or something. There it is. Somebody's car alarm is going off.
Somebody's losing a car today.
I mean...
They should really call them car false alarms, honestly.
Even the slightest bump can set them off.
I'm just saying, I've heard car alarms go off thousands of times in my life, and not once have I witnessed a car alarm going off because it was in an alarming state. Yeah. Obviously, it happens, but the number of times they go off without that is just so much.
It's like a cat decided to jump on the hood, and it just goes off.
Or, oops, I opened my own door, but like the wrong way or something.
Yep.
We beat them. Wow.
And then they died.
The end. Drill.
This feels weird.
We do not fear the crab, for we are faster swimmers.
But there's no water anymore.
Bum 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 bum.
And considering the state that we've left other places in, there probably will never be water here again.
It conveniently is totally back the moment we're gone, that being ambiguously after the last time we ever come back here. Several months from now. And probably after, like, grinding dailies or some shit for 3 years.
Probably.
This was you, Effie.
You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look.
I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say that we have reduced the local crab population to far a less threatening number. Some might call it a genocide?
My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward.
Nay, Palshorn. This was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people.
Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. Swam, aimless and lost, till they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water. Yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the Tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted, or predators, which hunted them within them. I can't read today, apparently. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course. And from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary, until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, and this great vanishing of water, was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here.
A truly astonishing history, and I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance, or otherwise, of our arrival be decided?
The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. Your presence serves to bring us the same. There will be no doubt in the matter.
Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Palshorn, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray, do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand, only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risks far outweigh the gain. Definitely don't enter any dungeon queues between sessions. No backflips.
No yeeting yourself off cliffs.
I'm very amused by the fact that, and I can only assume this is because there's a thumbnail with Hrothgar titties out, but there are twice as many people watching as normal.
Right now? Really?
Yeah, nobody watches the Final Fantasy XIV stream, so it's really noticeable when twice as many people show up. I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
I wonder what
I wonder
what changed this time.
Sorry to disappoint.
Ah, hero. Have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. I mean, no one's disappointed. There's like 3 Hrothgar on screen right now. In various states of dress. That one's a magician, this one's in a tank top, and this one's in a crop top.
I guess that's true. Wow.
Once I get back to the Tempest, I'll switch to something a little bit more appropriate for the area that we're in. Don't worry.
Nope, too late. What we know you as forever.
Now, there are 2 tasks I will have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ando settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for results of your investigations. Pick up rocks, stab rocks.
Oh, it's another one of these.
Inspect the soldiers. Examine the right trigger and A. When do I get the Mary Poppins umbrella?
Come on.
Larvae. That thing's cute. The clonid larva floats aimlessly, a forlorn look on its face. It seems harmless enough. Just depressed.
Okay, I'm clearly not seeing this thing. What the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Took forever to pop up on screen.
Nope. Distinctive window. Oh, all the way at the very top. The very top.
Yep.
The tall, slender tower features many elaborate windows, the likes of which you've seen nowhere else. Are those rocks going through the windows but not breaking them?
Don't question it.
How do I even interpret that visual? What am I looking at?
Magic.
Underwater smog robot.
First you take their water, now you pollute their air? What's wrong with you?
And now I'm stabbing their buildings. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone.
Damn.
Hrothgar strong. Rock stronger. And what have you discovered?
This place is weird, yo.
Yes.
Rocks.
I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. 'Twould seem the structures appeared the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. I mean, I could try a little harder.
You mean you are a weak child? Okay.
Hero. Everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressured, I would describe the surface as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability.
So it's Roman concrete, is what you're saying.
No, Ronkin, how dare you? Even the Ronkin Empire, once the greatest power in Novrant, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkins, then who? Who were these ancients the Ando claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emmett Selk withdrew here to the Tempest.
Yeah, it checks out.
He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here, specifically? Emmett Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda.
He could just not know a lot of locations off the top of his head. I don't know exactly how you teleport somewhere, but what if you need like the XY coordinates? And he's like, well, I remember this one place because it had like 6 beers in the fridge, but I don't remember like all the 15 other locations I could get to. Like, I just forgot. I don't know.
I mean, when you have an infinite amount of time, you get bored, you know?
Yeah, and you might just forget things that didn't matter to you anymore. You're like, oops, kind of forgot where all that stuff was. Ah, it's fine. I remember where the cool place was. I'll just go there.
Or, mayhap, 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Oh, the ancients were the Asians, maybe?
That's the only thing that makes sense right now, considering.
Yeah. Are you saying this was built by ancient Asians?
It did say that when they managed to escape, they had to, they would have had to find a way to survive here, so.
This is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the secession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in Kitana Raval. Almond presented it to me during my visit to Fano, after our victory in Calusia. Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selk's own words, it depicts a city of aeons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected?
Maybe a tiny bit.
You're right, they are buildings.
Oh.
We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. Or like whatever, I'm not your dad. You may visit the Kitana Raval mural at any time during this quest by using the relevant item. Okay. The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for the structure which resembles the building in the mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby in a location which allows for full view of the structure. Oh boy.
We could be here for a while, and that's not something I have time for, because we have 7 minutes.
They said northwest, right?
Yeah. Are we I guess we're doing this, okay.
And this zone is how many bigs?
It's big. It's big.
Let's see. Inventory. Looks a little churchy. I wish you could just keep it on the screen. I imagine it's not very hard to spot because I'm not even really seeing buildings in general. So once you see anything like it up here, it's probably the one.
Survey point is 21.9 and 11.0.
That's kind of boring.
It really isn't. We're not going to sit here for 20 years trying to run around an entire map that's like this big.
Might be these buildings. Oh my, he's just this glowing flower. Oh hey, an aether current.
Sweet.
I don't know if I'd say that looks unmistakably like it.
Oh, it's unmistakable.
Aye. This is the mural writ large. Is it? Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet, it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ando chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that when the Ando saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emmett Selk himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. Either current. Back. But if we are to find the stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ando's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over.
Okay.
We'll just accept it. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Pasha's Own again, and see if there is aught else he is willing to divulge.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to start next session by coming here and being sent back to the village.
Yeah.